Hello, everyone. I'm back by request. Thank you for all the support and the hundreds of responses. I did my best to address them all, and I think I got to all of them. So I should point out that those are my best guesses based on what I've experienced, and you really have to go within to get the specific reason and to release it. That's why I made this. Um, some people asked, why am I doing this? Well, I want people to realize that they can heal themselves and I want them to step into their power. I don't care how you get there. I'm only one way, and all I do is show you the door anyway. Ultimately, it's up. You're the one that has to walk through it. So I figured I'd develop this to kind of guide people through this. And I've already heard amazing responses of just people doing this on their own with just some of the suggestions. So this is going to be very powerful, and we're going to get a lot of healing, and you're going to realize how much of your life you have control over. And once you learn how the game works, it's a lot easier to play and a lot more fun. Okay, so you can do this. All right, think about kids. We're just actually returning to our natural state. Okay, think about kids. They're naturally healthy and happy most of the time. Most of the time, I find out people just have to let go of some stuff to get back to that. So it makes the process seem a lot easier when all I have to do is dump the baggage that you're carrying with you, and you can go back to being like that. Life's supposed to be fun and magical and happy. All right. So I already discussed how the message system of the body works in the last video. So if you want to know more about that, you can check out that video. So we're not going to go into that too much in detail. All right. For this, you will need about, and maybe in about an hour, free of distractions, some paper, and something to write with. This isn't like this isn't the method that I use in my private sessions. Um, some of you know that I talked about QHHT. This is not QHHT, but since no one's going anywhere, I figured this would be a great time to do this. All right. So when I do my private sessions, I work in the deepest possible level of trance. I can't do that with a group. So what I do is kind of a lighter level because I want you to be able to remember what you're seeing and what you're experiencing so you can write it down. Otherwise, I find it's like a dream and you'll forget it real quickly. Have you ever had a dream and you're like, oh, I'm going to remember that? And then the day goes on and you're like, I don't remember any of that. That's how this is going to be. Okay. This also isn't as thorough as my private sessions for obvious reasons. And the way I have this set up, we can kind of only address one thing at a time. But I do find that a lot of times the symptoms are linked to one or two core things. So once you get past that, the other symptoms go away. You just don't need that message anymore. So yeah, when we get to the root of one, the rest goes away. Also, you can watch this over and over again because it's going to be recorded and it's going to be posted. So watch this over and over again and go through each issue. And feel free to share this and share your experience so other people know what's possible. I should add, if you're doing this back to back, you can skip the visualization after the first one because your mind's kind of already lubed up and primed and kind of firing and ready. So you can kind of skip ahead to the hypnosis part, and I'll save you a little time. All right, so whatever you want to find out more about, I suggest that you kind of write it down and then focus on it. Try to keep that in your mind as we go through this. This will work if you can visualize, and yes, everyone can visualize. You do it all the time. All right, think about the last time you read a book. Imagine you're reading a book and the author is describing a beautiful woman with long, flowing blonde hair and a long, flowing blue silk dress. Can you imagine a woman like that? All right, then when I ask you to see something, it's the same thing. Okay? When I ask you to see something too, try to see it in as much detail as you can. Just like if I said, "Oh, imagine a woman," that's not that much detail. So the more detail and more things you can put into it, the better off you are. This will really kind of set you into the scene too, and really get you into that. So this is the part of the mind that we're working with. All right, everyone can visualize, but there are other ways to get information, especially when we get into the question part. So if you're not seeing anything, just go with whatever comes. A lot of people I'll find out it's like a knowing, or they'll hear it, or they'll feel it. Like, oh, I feel like this is the right answer. Go with the first thing that comes into your mind, however it happens. All right. And don't judge anything that comes up. You can always overanalyze it later. Um, Something could be like, why am I seeing a naked man on a trampoline? I don't know, but we get to ask about it. So maybe that's your symbol to have more fun. Okay, so we're going to go through this and I'm going to kind of guide it. If you have never done hypnosis before, or even if you have, it can feel like you're making it all up. This is very normal. Just go through it, and you can analyze it later. But I should warn you: the second you try to figure it out and say, "Oh, am I doing this right? This doesn't make sense. I don't know if that's right," you're switching over to the left side of your brain, that analytical part of your brain, and that's the part of your brain that has to figure everything out. Well, that's going to stop the process. We don't want to be over there. We want to be on the right side of your brain, and we just want to kind of just let the stuff flow. Okay, you can ask if it was right at the end, but um, and everyone kind of feels this way, so don't feel like that's anything weird. But just allow the process and go with the flow. Okay. This is going to seem very normal because you actually go into trance all the time. Within 60 seconds of watching TV, you're already in an alpha level trance. So it's a very light trance, and that's a trance that we're going to be working in. Have you ever tried to talk to someone that's watching TV? This is also why commercials end up being so effective. How many of you have been driving and then kind of space out, but then you arrive at your destination? You were in trance, and your subconscious mind is processing everything very quickly and got you there safely. So this will seem very natural and very familiar. In the beginning, it's just like I'm telling you a story, so try to help yourself by imagining in as much detail as I tell you the story. It's so easy and you'll do just great. The first thing we're going to do is a little exercise just to show you how easy it is to visualize. All right, let's start with a few deep breaths. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. As you breathe out, you relax more and more. Another deep breath in, deep breath out, and relax. One more deep breath in, deep breath out, and relax. As you breathe out, you'll relax more and more. Close your eyes and just relax. I'm going to ask you to see something. Just go with it. And when you see these things, I want you to try to put action into it. Not only see the picture, but hear something. Try to hear what's going on. Put sound in it. Put activity in it. Also try to bring in smells if you can. We want to get all of your senses activated. Try to see if you can smell, if you can hear, and if you can see. And fill the scene full of details. Okay, just relax, eyes closed, and let the pictures come. You are standing on the corner of a very busy street in a big city. There is a lot of traffic. There is a lot of noise. A lot of things going on. See the scene and fill it full of lots of details. sounds, sights, smells. You are standing on the corner of a busy street in a big city. Now, leave that scene and you're standing on a pier looking out at the water. It is a fishing pier. Maybe there are boats on the water. Maybe there are people fishing. But you are looking out at the water as you stand on a fishing pier. Now, leave that scene and you are standing in a train station. You are on the platform of a train station. There is a train coming the tracks. You can see it and you can hear it. Try to feel the vibration of the platform as the train comes closer and pulls into the station. You are standing on the platform watching a train come in. All right, now when you are ready, you are back in the room and you can open your eyes. Was everybody able to see things? All right. Now the first part, the busy street, could you see the traffic? Could you hear the noises? Some people even say they can smell the exhaust from the cars, or they can smell someone cooking hot dogs or street vendors cooking food. All right. Sometimes when we do this, your subconscious mind already knows what we want to do, so it's already beginning to fill in things that are not from our time or are things that you're going to be going back to. Okay, so they're already kind of prepping you, and your mind's kind of already getting a little slippery. All right. Could you see the traffic? And could you hear the traffic noises? We're trying to activate as many senses as we can when we do this. So we're trying to get everything working. If there's anyone that had problems with seeing stuff, that's okay. Um, Just kind of go with it, and you can do these over. All right, I find most people can do this, and sometimes it takes just a little relaxation and letting go. All right, now the second part about the fishing pier. We're able to see boats on the water. Some people say they can smell the saltiness or the fishiness of the water. Smell is one of the toughest things to try and bring in and activate. So if you can bring that in, you're really activating everything. Sight and hearing are kind of the easier things. All right, how about the train? Could you feel the vibration? Could you sense other, like, could you smell the train? Could you smell the smoke? Or if it's like an old train, I have a lot of people that start going back to picturing things from Jesse James time when they have like an old fashioned train, or like people going off to the Civil War, or a modern futuristic bullet train that doesn't even exist yet. So whatever it is, just go with it, whatever happens. All right. I want to do one more before we start to try to get those other senses activated. Okay. So close your eyes again and relax. This time, see a lemon. What does it look like? Pick it up. What does it feel like? How does it smell? Now, put it on a cutting board. Take a sharp knife from the kitchen and slice it in half. Pick up half and take a bite. What does it taste like? Okay, now when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Could you see the lemon? Could you feel it? Could you smell it? Could you even taste it? All right, taste is the hardest one. So smelling and tasting are the hardest senses to activate. So if you could incorporate all those, excellent job. I love doing this one in person because I watch everyone's faces as they're doing this. It's kind of fun. So that's the part of the brain that we're activating. Great job. That's the side that has the memories, and that's where the emotions are. Everything that we're trying to tap into is in that right side of the brain. All right. For the next part, we're going to focus on something that we want healed. This may be some mental condition, physical symptom, or maybe some just experience we want to get past. They all tie together anyway. Okay. If it's a physical or mental condition, don't focus on what someone calls it. That's just a label. Okay. And it's often inaccurate anyway. Instead, focus on the symptoms you're experiencing. All right. This will be a better approach to finding out how it relates to your life and that what the message is. Remember, the messages are very literal. So if we focus on the symptom rather than what someone calls the condition, it's a lot easier to get to the bottom of. When I ask the questions in the hypnosis, um, many of you are going to want to respond with a medical answer or how something happened. I know that's what I'm thinking. Like, oh, that was from it's from a thin myelin sheath on the axon on the nerve, and that's not the answer we're looking for. All right, those are just mechanisms to get you the message, not the real reason, not the root. Okay, so this is your conscious mind trying to answer. We want to quiet that part of the mind, and we want to listen for the message from it and get to the root cause so we can let it go. For example, the reason a car accident happened isn't, oh, a car hit me head on. It may be I needed to stop in my life path, my current life path with what I was doing. I was going down the wrong going the wrong way in life, and I need to come to a halt. And it may be kind of drastic sometimes if you need to get a severe message. Okay, so it's something to be aware of. Isn't this isn't like in my private sessions because I have no idea what responses you're getting. Okay, if you don't get an answer, that's okay. Try to avoid saying I don't know in head, because you're going to be stopping the process. Just kind of listen, and maybe there isn't an answer for it yet, or it may not relate to you, because I'm trying to make this so it kind of fits everyone. So just kind of go through the process, and I still go through the process because I find that you'll uncover more information, and you will ensure that the condition doesn't return then, because you'll get the message. If you don't get the complete message, it may not go away, or it may come back. So this is why I'm pretty exhaustive in my questioning now in my private sessions, because I've learned from this. So I should say too that when we get to releasing some of these things, it can be very powerful. Okay, and just be okay with that. Know that you're hitting something important. Very often, just about everybody cries. Lots of people get hot or warm sensations. Some people get really cold. Some people shake. Some people feel like they're spinning. Um, just be okay with whatever happens, and know that whatever is happening is an important part of releasing it. There's nothing to be scared about. No one is going to get hurt doing this. But there's different ways of releasing stuff, and there's different sensations. You may get like buzzy, or I don't know, you may just get these strong emotions. Okay. This is a very good sign that you struck gold. Okay. So be okay with that. That's a very important part of the process. But I should say, if it doesn't happen, don't feel like it didn't work or do enough, because everyone's experience is different. So don't compare them. Don't be like, oh, I didn't get this, didn't happen. Okay, that's okay. It's your own personal experience. Doesn't mean that you didn't get something from it. All right, remember, you are powerful. You created this to teach yourself something. So because you created it, you can also uncreate it. But be careful, you can always also create it again if you don't get the message or do what the message is telling you. That's free will. Be careful about your belief system too, because whether you think this will work or whether you think it won't work, you're right. You are that powerful and that strong, and your belief system really is that strong. I think anyone can do this if they just relax and let the pictures come. Uh, if you don't get the answer now, you may get it in dreams or something in like meditation. I found that when you do this, you open the door. Okay, you make that connection, and that connection stays open for about 3 days. So if you don't get all your information, or it's not in the depth that you want, pay close attention to your dreams, and in meditation, ask for the answers. You made this connection, so use it. It's a great chance to like ask about anything, even if it doesn't pertain to these things. So um, we open the door. It stays open for about 3 days, and yeah, just be aware. So this is going to be a light level trance, because I want you to be conscious enough to write it down, because we want you to be able to write down what you experienced after this. In the deep levels, you wouldn't be able to do this. That's why I record it in my private sessions on audio. So it's just visualization. It's all it is. Trust whatever comes in. Remember to trust that first thing that comes in your mind always, not just now. Just just go with that first thing, and you'll do just fine. All right. When we get done, I don't want you to comment right away or talk to anyone. I just want you to start writing down immediately, because I found it's like a dream and it'll fade quickly. So I kind of want you to take away a lot of messages from this. All right. Before we start this, I want you to make sure that cell phones are off. Make sure you're free of distractions. And if you've just started joining us, have a paper and pen for at the end, or something to write with. All right. So intention is very important to let the universe know what you want. Um, I ask a lot of times in people's sessions, and I said, how do people get this? Just ask. The universe doesn't know what you want if you don't ask. All right, so let's put our hands over our hearts and put out the intention. All right, I am open to receive messages. I am open to receive healing. This session will change my life in a powerful way. Okay, eyes closed and relax. Let's start with a few deep breaths. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. As you breathe out, you relax more and more. Another deep breath in, deep breath out. And relax. One more deep breath in, deep breath out, and relax. As you breathe out, you'll relax more and more. Now, I would like for you to imagine a beautiful pyramid composed entirely of white light. A very beautiful thing to see. It glows, it sparkles, it shimmers, and I want you to mentally place that white pyramid of light so that it completely encloses your body, even the underneath side of your body, so that you are completely enclosed within the beautiful pyramid of white light. This is your protection. The white light is a very powerful force. It can protect against anything. It will remain around your body the entire time that we do this. Nothing can harm you, mentally or physically. You are protected. You are safe. You know it, you feel it, and it is very, very good. This time you are standing at the foot of a very large hill. You see it ahead of you. Going up the hill is a winding path. The path twists and turns, goes around trees and bushes as it goes up to the top of the hill. Walk up this path. As you walk up the path, look at the vegetation and the trees as you go around them. As the trail and the path twists and turns, going up to the top of the hill. Walk up the path until you reach the top of the hill. Now you have reached the top of the hill. You are standing inside a small grove of trees. Step out of the grove of trees, and there is a clearing in front of you. Step into the clearing. On the other side of the clearing, you see another small grove of trees. Your higher self is standing, waiting inside that grove of trees. As you watch, your higher self comes out of the grove of trees and walks into the clearing. Your higher self says, I know what you want. You can ask me anything. Ask your higher self, what is causing my condition? What is the message? Imagine what your higher self might say. Ask your higher self, where does this originate? This life? Another life? When was the first time this soul experienced this? Imagine what your higher self might say. What were the emotions felt when this began? What emotions are tied to this condition? This condition had a purpose. What was the purpose to experience this? Ask, what did you want me to understand? Ask, do I understand this completely now? Have I learned all I need to learn from this? What more do I need to learn? Now that you understand this, ask your higher self, can you heal this now? Can you release this and heal this now? Allow anything that comes up. Now that you have received this message and understood it, you can now release any emotion and physical symptoms tied to it. You have now released all the emotions and physical symptoms tied to this message, thankful for the information you have been given. Ask, what will I notice after this session? How will I feel after this session? You really want this healed state to be permanent. Ask your higher self, what is my responsibility now that I am healed? How do I stay in this healed state. Now give your higher self a hug and know that they are always there for you. You are never alone. You can see now that this experience came from such a place of love. Thank your higher self and be grateful for the guidance you have been given. Now your higher self is turning around and walking back across the clearing. They are walking back across the clearing and disappearing into the grove of trees. Now you turn around and go back into the grove of trees on this side. You can start your descent back down the winding path, back down into the room. You can come back down faster than you went up. I will count to 5, and on the count of 5, you'll be back in the room and back in your body, remembering 4 important things. What was the message? What was the emotion? What did you need to learn from it? And how do you stay in that healed state? You'll be able to remember those 4 things so you can write them down. On the count of 5, you'll be back down the path in the room and back in the body, remembering those 4 things. 1, 2. You're breathing faster, the blood's circulating faster because you're beginning to wake up now. You are back where you began and very much aware of your physical body. 3, 4. You're aware of the sounds in the room and the sounds outside of the room. Very much aware of your surroundings. 5. You're back in the room, wide awake, remembering those 4 things so that you can write them down. While people are writing, I want you to remember that if you didn't get all the information you needed, you can get it in your dreams or meditation. You'll have an open channel for 3 days. You can also just do this hypnosis again. All right, thanks, guys.